Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso. Gift magical mornings with Nespresso Virtuo Pop. Compact and stylish, Virtuo Pop is made to meet every morning coffee craving. From espresso to coffee, hot or iced, at the click of a button. And celebrate the season with Nespresso's limited edition coffee flavors. Sweet almond and hibiscus, cinnamon and candied tamarind, and festive double espresso. Magic in the making. Shop the holiday gift collection exclusively at Nespresso.com.
Good morning, guys, and welcome to the podcast. I'm really delighted about today's guest, Tom Malesic, and he helps business owners with their marketing. And what's really interesting is he's going to talk to us all about the innovations in AI, website leads, video clones, ranking in AI. So I'm really happy to have him on. Tom, welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, and briefly introduce yourself, and I'm really excited to dive into the conversation.
Sure. My name is Tom Malesic. I'm the founder and president of EZMarketing. And the primary thing we do is we help small business owners' dreams come true. And we do that by digital marketing. So how do we get an amazing website for you that drives revenue? And then how do we do all the supporting digital marketing that surrounds that, right? So that you grow that top line revenue.
All right. What do clients come to you for and for help with, and how do you help solve their problems?
Yeah, the biggest reason people come to me is they say, listen, I need to grow my business, or I don't have enough leads, or I'm not making enough sales. That's what they tell me. And then it's our job to figure out, how do we change that paradigm for them? So how do we get them more revenue, more leads, and what does that look like? And every client's a little different from that standpoint.
Yeah, excellent. And so moving on the conversation, talking about why is your website the center of all your marketing?
Yeah, so this is my core belief in all marketing, is that the website is the center of your marketing. And I believe that because every piece of marketing you do drives to your website. So even let's say you go traditional marketing and you run a billboard on a major highway. You're probably not putting your web address on there, but I bet you're putting your company name. And what do you do when you want to find somebody's phone number? You Google it and you go to their website. So no matter what you're doing, if you drive somebody to the world's worst website, you lose credibility. And as a result, you're just not going to make any money off it. And it's the common mistake, especially small business owners make, right? So we say, oh, look, I want to spend as little money as possible on my website, and I'm going to get huge value out of that. And the world just doesn't work that way.
The next question I have for you is, how do you get traffic to convert on your website?
Yeah, it's a great question. Let's go back to the website, to the core of everything. So traffic doesn't convert if the website doesn't lend credibility. So when you land on a website, you're going to judge a book by its cover, right? Mom always said, don't judge a book by its cover. And that works great with people, but it really doesn't. That's not how we function in business and in marketing, right? If it looks like a duck and walks like a duck, it's probably a duck. So if your website's horrible, that probably means your business is horrible. And that probably means that I shouldn't do business with you because I'm probably going to get ripped off, right? People make that correlation. So it needs to be, there's a couple of things I really want visitors to take away from this, is I want them to understand that how you look is important. So if your website looks nice, that's a help, right? So some people say, oh no, it's just all function. And then other people say, it's all about design. It's about more than that. It's about good design. It's about amazing copywriting. And then it's about how have we accurately placed our call to actions. So from a design standpoint, Christopher, let's say when you were dating, right? And let's say you went to bars to find somebody to date. And you and I went there together and we're hanging out at the bar, and I'm dressed pretty nice. And you just got done mowing your lawn and working on your car, and you have oil and you smell and like it's bad. Like who is that attractive woman going to be attracted to? Like the stinky guy who's a mess? Probably not. And that's what we do with our website because we want to invest no money in it. So we end up being the stinky guy at the bar. And our job is to help you not be that guy.
Yeah, interesting. So there's this new where does in terms of ranking on Google and AI search and LLMs and ChatGPT, is it very important to still rank on Google?
It's very similar. So yes, so Google is still, look, we don't even have Coke and Pepsi, right? We have Coke and RC Cola. Google is still Coca-Cola. And ChatGPT and some of these large language models are trying to be Pepsi, but they're just not there yet. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't pay attention to them, because we are absolutely seeing for our own business and for our clients' business that we're getting results on ChatGPT. We're getting leads from ChatGPT and we're closing business off of it. So the interesting thing that people say, oh, like it's this either or, and I've never really understood this concept, because marketing isn't an either or concept ever. It's an and concept. Right. So I want to do SEO and ChatGPT marketing. I want to do SEO and Google ads and social, right? The more marketing you do, the more it compounds on itself. The good news is with all the ChatGPTs of the world is that the strategy to rank there and to appear in the results is very similar to great practices in SEO. So in SEO, what do we say? Content, content, content. Now, ChatGPT doesn't just say content. It says structure your content in a way that is something that Christopher would type in. So you are asking questions differently on ChatGPT because we're talking to it. And the better we do that in answering questions and structuring that information, the more ChatGPT loves you.
The other question is, what is happening with AI search and LLMs? Because most recently, a lot of times I was using almost 100% Google, and now it's almost 40% Google and 60% ChatGPT.
Interesting that you're using so much of it already. Congratulations. That's great. So I think we will see some shift. And I think we're going to see a lot of it just because we talk to devices now and we ask it questions, and it's almost like we talk to it like it's a person, which is super fascinating, right? From just a human nature thing. But the more we're talking to it like it's a person, the more the content that we feed it and that we have published on the internet, which is how these large language models pull that data. They're pulling it from things that you would have uploaded into it, but they're pulling it just from the internet in general. So if you don't have a lot of information out there, then you don't have a shot at ranking it. So think of it like, so in college, I took a math class. It's called probability and statistics, right? And if I have a 10-page website, I have 10 pages of content that Google can find or ChatGPT can find. Now, if I had 1,000 pages of content that Google could find and ChatGPT could find, who do you think's like, which one of us is going to get better traffic? The 10-page of content or the 1,000 pages of content? And it obviously answers 1,000 pages of content. And that's what people need to understand, is that it's almost like she who talks most wins, right? And we need to be the person that's talking the most so that we have a shot at ranking in this. And for small business owners, that's tough, right? Because you're running your business and you don't have time to write blogs, or you don't want to pay to write the content, have somebody else write the content. And the reality is, if you don't have time, then you got to spend the money to have somebody else create a lot of content for you.
If a business owner, they wanted help with their digital marketing, where would they start, and what do they really need to track to know if their marketing is working?
Yeah. So I look at it and say, you have 3 places. You start with your website, number one thing. Then you're going to then the next thing that we're going to do to drive traffic is SEO. So how do I rank on Google, aka or ChatGPT, right? I'm going to put that in the search category. And then how do I rank in paid ads? So how do I buy Google ads, right? So both those are what I call that they're looking for you. So when somebody else is already in the market for what you sell, like that's a whole lot easier to close that business, right? Versus you going down the street, knocking on every single door, trying to find somebody who's interested in what you have to offer. And that's every other source of marketing. That's what it is, right? You're actively looking for them, whether you run Facebook ads, YouTube ads, direct mail, billboard, radio, TV, gosh forbid you stick something in a newspaper that doesn't really exist anymore, or the Yellow Pages gone, right? But the Yellow Pages was the old version of They're Looking for You marketing. And that's why it was so effective, right? And now it's Google, and it's whether it's organic, the map pack, or the paid search. The more you can master those three things, the better off you're going to be. And that's why I just recently published my book, They're Looking for You Marketing, because people would call me and they'd say, Tom, I heard about this geofencing thing and I wanted to do geofencing. And I'm like, let's look at your website. It's terrible. How are we getting leads on your website from SEO? I don't do that, but I want geofencing. Look, they're coming to me and saying, look, I don't have this cupcake, but I'd like to buy sprinkles to put on my imaginary cupcake. We want you to have the cupcake first, right? Let's really focus on the core of marketing, and then we can sprinkle in any kind of extra stuff you want that adds to the value of your marketing.
Really fascinating. You talked about you're the author of 4 books, and most recent one is They're Looking for You. And so talk about the impetus for writing the book and the key takeaways from that book.
Yeah, the reason I wrote it is sometimes you just get tired of saying the same thing over and over again. No, you have to have a great website, you have to rank on Google, and you have to buy paid ads. The 3 things you got to do. And then I wrote it so that people had a deeper understanding of, what do I mean by a great website? What am I looking at when you come to me and say, I'm not ranking on Google? Why is that? And I do a deep dive and say, what aren't you doing? Oh, look, you have no H1s. You don't use the keyword anywhere on your site. It's trying to get them to better understand what are the key pieces that you should be paying attention to that maybe you're just not, because you're busy running your business, not being a digital marketing expert. That's why people hire us, right? Our team is amazing at what they do and driving those results.
Yeah. Another common problem is a lot of, for example, with Google ads, and they get traffic and then they're paying for these ads. How do they get the traffic to convert on their website?
Yeah. So there are a couple of different types of websites, but let's just go with a website that the goal is to generate an appointment or a lead, right? So a lot of times what people do is they screw up the navigation. And the biggest thing you screw up in the navigation is you don't make schedule an appointment or book a consultation or get a quote the number one thing in your navigation. And the number one spot is your upper right-hand corner, and it needs to be a button, and it needs to be a button that's a different color than everything else, so that when we read from left to right, and we pause at the end, right, on the right, and that's the section that's going to grab our attention. So button, and then right above the button, your phone number. And if you fix just that one thing, that'll make a difference, assuming people actually go to your website.
Interesting. What about ranking in Google's map pack? What is that?
Yeah. So when you do a Google search, the first thing that pops up is the paid ads, the Google ads, and it says sponsored at the top. And then if you're searching for something that Google perceives to be local, that you see a little map, and then you see 3 or 4 listings next to it. You know what I'm talking about there?
I know that a lot of Google businesses, you can, when you search for them, it'll show up and it's location based.
Yeah. So to show up in there, you need a couple things. One, you need to be local to whatever it is, the searcher, right? So the search results, that listing varies based on how close someone is to the business that's coming up in the rankings. But then there's all these great things that you can rig the system, right? And that's all we're doing with SEO, period, is rigging the system, get Google to like you more. And Google likes you more when you fill out your Google business profile, when you have great reviews. So some people say, oh, reviews aren't that important. Oh, no, reviews are super, super important. And you should be asking every customer to give you a Google review. And then Google wants to see that you update this on a regular basis. So when we can do those things, then that helps. The other thing that helps is to create location-based pages on your website. So for us, let's say just in my geography near me, I say, listen, I want web design, my town name. I build hundreds of pages of web design town, right? So I'm going to take every town near me that has 2,500 people in it, which You can ask ChatGPT, please list all the towns in the state of Pennsylvania that have more than 2,500 people as a population, and Google or ChatGPT gives you the list. And then you plug that in and you just start to build pages. Then Google starts to see proximity to where you are. Now, let's say you're national. So in other words, we have customers all over the country. So I have every state and towns within those states. So again, thousands of pages. And we get lots of traffic off those town pages. So if you have location based, that's part of your business, then you just need to leverage that piece of it.
Interesting. Moving along, talk about AI video cloning and Gen AI avatars. Are those worth it, or where do you see the future of that?
Yeah, I really think there's going to be a big future in this because we have figured out now how to leverage time better. I can shoot plenty of videos and put them on YouTube, and I've done that for years and years. But that's time consuming, and I need to be in the studio to do that, right? Or I need to sit at my computer and shoot videos. But what if you could have somebody else write a script for you to say, and we've replicated you exactly as you are, your voice, your image, how you move, how you tilt your head. And I could just make you talk and say whatever you want. And then you can outsource all your video production because it's not you, but it looks like you and it sounds like you. And pretty much all of my clones, my wife knows it's not me. And everybody else is like, no way. So we have a service now. It's called EZClone. And we turn you into an AI avatar and take you out. I need to film you one time. Or you need to give me video footage one time, and then we can create that avatar. And it's amazing. So I think there's a huge future in it because you're just trying to leverage your time.
Yeah. And I know people talking about metaverse and VR, AR headsets. And so that's going to be really interesting. How can people find out more about you, connect with you if they want to improve their digital marketing and connect with you?
Yeah. So go to EZMarketing.com. It's the letter E, the letter Z, marketing.com. And you can learn all about us and just click that button in the upper right-hand corner that says schedule consultation. And myself or one of my marketing consultants will be happy to take a look at anything you want, no cost. We'll give you our opinion. And if we can help you, great. And if not, we hope we gave you a lot of great free advice.
Yeah. Excellent. Thanks so much for coming on. And I encourage the readers to check out Tom's book. It's on Amazon and those will be in the show notes. And thanks again for coming on.
Great. Thank you so much.
Every minute your finance team spends wrestling with data is a minute lost. Insight Software's AI-powered insights instantly move you from complexity to clarity. Automated analysis, real-time reporting, strategic recommendations, all at your fingertips. Transform how your finance team works and watch your business grow. Stop wasting time. Start making smarter decisions. Learn more at insightsoftware.com/AI.
Introducing Taking Share, Lessons from Leaders with Rob Holmes, Chairman, President, and CEO of Texas Capital. During each episode, you will hear from leaders, decision makers, and culture shapers across industries. What drives them? What tips the scales when making tough calls? How do they continue to evolve? We're here to understand the thoughts behind their actions and discover how they are taking share. For more information on Texas Capital, please visit us at our website.